What up, MetaZoo maniacs and cryptic campers? Today is September 30th, 2025, better known as the last day of OG MetaZoo. And the reason I say that, obviously, is because this is the last day you could ever buy cheap, absolutely 99.9% off OG MetaZoo product on Quote. It's the last day Quote's going to sell MetaZoo ever, or so they say. But that's the way it's looking. If you want to buy more, you could always go to Football or Pete on eBay. They have a whole bunch of the inventory as well. But anyways, let's bust into this video. Let's get a look at the secondary market before OG MetaZoo is over, in a sense. So let's see. Crypto Nation first edition booster box in a nice case sold for $117.50 on September 28, 2025. Then we have another first edition Crypto Nation booster box with no case sold for $102.50. And then we have 4 booster boxes, and this one is not second edition. This Crypto Nation box is first edition, so you're going to get all 4 of these for $105.50. Holy moly. And look who sold it. It's Joker's Favor. And here we have a full hollow Mothman PSA 10 first edition, not Kickstarter, sold for $105.50 in auction. And then we have another full hollow Mothman first edition PSA 10 in Australia that sold for only $70.33 American. Then we had a raw copy of the first edition Mothman full hollow, sold for only $12.50. Holy moly. Oh, look at this. Non-alternating Kickstarter booster box with a ton of autographs and signatures. And some doodles. Like, this is crazy. How much do you think this would sell for? There's no way at one point in time this would sell for less than $2,000, not even less than $1,500, definitely not less than $1,000. But now, in auction, only $710. And then we got the Poncho box, sold on September 28th. Sold for $1,025 in auction. And we got another Poncho box that sold for $869.95 in auction. Holy moly. And then we got a Torrential Tides booster box, sold for $51 in auction. And then we have a case of booster boxes. So for Torrential Tides, 12 booster boxes, $511 in auction. And if you're wondering how much that is per box, that'd be about $42.58 per box. Oh, and look what we got next. We got Mesopotamia selling the charity auction lot of all these cards and the magazine and all that. $78.70 in auction. We all know DPD19 won this. I wonder if he's going to relist it. I seen his video. It sounds like he's going to keep it because he said it's going to end here with me instead of reposting it. So who knows? But if he does repost it or he does relist it, here's what I think should happen with this auction. Now, obviously TMX plays cards with all the people at MetaZoo. I think someone from the new MetaZoo, Meta2, GQL or whatever should win this auction the next time it gets put up. And what they should do, because the whole tradition here is to add in something new, right? Take out something, add something new. If I was a new MetaZoo, this is what I would do. I would put in 10 cards that are autographed by like staff or whatever, right? Like 10 unique cards, but they're all the same, but they're autographed maybe by an artist or whatever, sketch cards or whatever. Put 10 of them in there, and then have a little note for the next person that buys it saying, this auction will be relisted, but take one of these cards, but only one of these cards. So then that person, whoever buys it, if they don't have anything they want to add to it, they could relist it, and then with, you know, a note saying take one of these cards, and then there'd be 8 left, and then it goes on. And then when it gets to when there's only 1 left, maybe someone from GQL buys it again and adds another 10 in there, you know what I mean? So I don't know if that makes sense. I think that'd be a cool idea to keep this tradition going because all the money goes to charity anyways. And it would be just a cool thing for an incentive for people to buy this as well, because there'll be that unique card that came from GQL or MetaZoo as well. So anyways, if you remember, comment below what you think about that idea, or something similar to that idea where the actual company inserts cards into that. Or if TMX wins this, and then he gets some unique cards from GQL and all them, since he plays cards with them, and then you can put that into the auction, and then whoever wins in the future could just take one of them, and it keeps going and going. Anyways, it's a cool idea they have, and I think it'd be cool if there was some kind of like cool incentive to buy it as well. Next we have the 3-star rarity Bigfoot, sold in Australia, PSA 10 only. What is this? $39.91 American. Holy moly. And then we got the hidden rare Pele, or Pele, probably Pele. Yeah, $132.50 in auction. And then we got the hidden rare Piazza PSA 9, $117.50 in auction. One thing that's cool to note about this hidden rare Piazza there is only one out of 13 that were sent in that's graded as a PSA 10. There's only one PSA 10. And next we have Bigfoot, second edition, relisted again. PSA 10 for $14.50 Canadian, $10.41 American. And I believe it's been relisted again for a third time. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to win that auction and keep it. I don't know why this keeps getting relisted, but for some reason no one wants to pay $10. Well, it is second edition Bigfoot, but I guarantee I'm going to be the one that wins this auction next. And look at this. We see cases of UFOs selling all day, every day for like $10, maybe $14 at most on GWOAT. Somehow in auction, during these GWOAT auctions on September 18th, a case sold for $100. That's impressive. I mean, hey, people are making money off cases of UFO somehow. Oh, sorry, that's not UFO, that's Seance. The next one we're going to talk about is UFO. So UFO case sold for $81, which totally blows my mind. And Seance was selling maybe for about $40 a case for a while. Recently we saw it going for as low as $14 a case. I bought a case for $17. Next we got the Ho-Oh Legendary Rare, $31 in auction. And then we got the Basilisk Legendary Rare, $31 in auction. And the Hodag Legendary Rare, $31.01 in auction. And next we have Gasanditha, 3-star rarity, $20.50. And then we have the Ghost Train, 3-star alternate art, $19.50 in auction. And then we have Manananggal. What? This sold for less than the last two cards, only $16.50? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is one of the top chase cards for the 3-star rarity cards. And another one for only $12.50. What the heck? I mean, that's a good deal. This card's absolutely amazing. Then we have a Samson Claire, serialized out of 50 from MetaZoo Topps Chrome. MetaZoo Topps Chrome and Top Series 0 are crashing faster than probably anything. Yeah, only $51. It's serialized out of 50. Then we have Quetzalcoatlus, serialized number 1 out of 25. Only 50. Man, that's crazy. Only $56. Hey, we got the Alpha promo cards. PSA 9. They're very hard to get as PSA 10s. Near impossible. And there's not many of these out there either. PSA 9 bulk up. Oh yeah, I gotta do the push-up challenge soon. Only $14.50 in auction. Selling for almost as much as a second edition Bigfoot PSA 10. Oh, and we got Wendigo. I mean, that's crazy. PSA 10, full hollow. We're only a month away from Halloween and it's still selling. It's not even worth grading. $18.50. That's wild. And then we got one of the craziest Super Saiyan Mothman you're ever going to see. PSA 10, $71 in auction. I mean, that has to be one of the craziest. Oh, let's mute my phone here. That has to be one of the craziest Super Saiyan errors I've ever seen. All of us have owned crazy Super Saiyan era Mothman cards, but this might be on the top of the mountain. This is absolutely crazy. And here we go, Topps Chrome again, just hitting the gutter faster than anything. Loveland Frogman, the second best cryptid you could pull out of MetaZoo Topps Chrome. PSA 9, serialized 7 out of 25, only $69 in auction. Even native booster boxes are going for a little dip in the gutter. $301, I mean that's still quite a bit for old school MetaZoo, but you get all the different box arts. $301.49 in auction. Now I had to point this out because I was talking about it on my live stream, but Hello Kitty booster boxes, so check it out, right? $48 with Probe Scene. They have quite a bit of shipping too. $48 in auction for one box of Chromie's Cryptic Carnival. And another box for $41. Now what's important about this is Hello Kitty was the last set that came out from MetaZoo. And a lot of people are like, oh, that was a downfall of MetaZoo, that's when everything went to crap. Which they're 100% correct on. But Hello Kitty booster boxes, as you can see, September 23rd, and this one is also September 23rd, are selling for more than Torrential Tides booster boxes. As we can see right here, September 25th, $46 in auction. And another one on September 24th for $46 in auction. Now you might be like, oh, that's pretty much the same price. But it shouldn't be the same price. Hello Kitty should not be even close to this. And we had another one for $33 in auction on September 23rd. Holy moly. Like, Hello Kitty is pretty much on par with Torrential Tides. And everyone, you know, for the most part would agree Torrential Tides is a better set than base set. So that's wild. That's really wild. Hey, I bet you the catcher Cryptic Keeper bought this one. They're always chasing after these Poncho sketches. And this one's got some autographs on it and a sketch. So $109.50 in auction. Hey, another case of UFO sold for $56 in auction. Hey, and another case of UFO for $71 in auction. I wonder when we're going to see a bag of 200 Rat King promos in auction. Okay, let's check out some cards that aren't even worth grading anymore. Even if you buy it, man, open up a Nightfall booster box is fun, but just don't grade the cards. Just keep them in a case at home, because, yeah. Reverse Hollow Mothman, PSA 9, sold, what is that, $1.62? I mean, what the hell, man. And then we had a Full Hollow Mothman PSA 9, also sold for $1.62. I mean, I know last year people were like, MetaZoo's going to 0. Well, I think we're there, man. I mean, you can't, like, what the hell? That's crazy. Yes, I know it's a PSA 9, but still, it is the best card you could pull out of a Nightfall booster box. I know there's Old Scratch, but you're not going to pull Old Scratch. I mean, this is crazy, man, and it's Mothman. Full Hollow. That's wild. Here we have a Dragon Oconto Falls PSA 10 that sold for $5.50 in auction. Hey, we got a Reverse Hollow Mothman PSA 10 that sold for $17.61 in auction. Here's an interesting one. The title says it's a PSA 10, but obviously no one fell for that mislabel of the title. It's a PSA 8 Full Hollow Mothman. Sold for a whole $3.05, which makes no sense since we just seen a PSA 9 sell for $1.62. So maybe it was because of the labeling up here. I don't know, that doesn't make any sense, but whatever. I mean, it's so cheap, it doesn't matter. And then we had a PSA 10 Full Hollow Mothman, sold for $16.65. And another Full Hollow Mothman from Nightfall PSA 10 that sold for $18.68. They're literally not even worth grading at this point. Then we had another Nightfall Mothman Full Hollow PSA 10 sell for $20.62. That was the highest one. Oh, whoops, there's one more. My bad. Sold for $23.49. So, yeah, that's wild. And here we have a PSA 10 Reverse Hollow Wendigo. So for, what is this here? $8.98. That is absolutely, I mean, that's brutal. Oh, and here we have another Reverse Hollow Wendigo PSA 10. So for $15.81. And I know there was a lot of first edition blisters that were sold on Quote recently. Yeah, the promo card that you get, PSA 10, not even worth grading. It's sold for $8.98. Here we have a Full Hollow Grim Reaper PSA 10 from Nightfall. Only $14.73 in auction. I mean, I know they spoiled some Headless Horseman artwork on MetaZoo Monday, but look at this. OG MetaZoo, or Headless Horseman Full Hollow from Nightfall. Back in 2021. 4 years ago. PSA 10. Only $3.05. Like, no, that's crazy. And then we have Headless Coal Miner, PSA 10, Full Hollow. Only $3.05 in auction. And then we have the Righteous Reckoning. I mean, that's Wendigo. Full Hollow. It only comes as Full Hollow. PSA 10, not a very easy card to pull either. Only $3.96 in auction. That is absolutely mind-blowing. Then we have an alternate art Bigfoot from base set, 3-star rarity, sold for $14.50. Then we have the Ogopogo from the most recent set. 3-star rarity texturized for $1.25. Then we have Defy the Heavens with Sun Wukong on there. I think this is a pretty sweet looking card, but only selling for $4.25 in auction. And Follow My Lead, one of the best looking alternate arts, only $9 in auction. And here we have Trample, 3-star alternate art full texture card, $3.25 in auction. Here we have Sack, alternate art 3-star rarity, $10.50 in auction. Sword of Searcher, I mean, no one cared about this card right from the get-go, so I'm not surprised, only $1.25 in auction. But the thing to remember is, not long ago, these cards, even the cards that no one wanted, were still selling for around $10 each. Even Dingbell, the mascot of MetaZoo in a way. I mean, that's absolutely sweet artwork. Only $3.25 in auction. Lady Luck, only $7 in auction. Then we have Monkey Mirage selling for $10.50 in auction. Even a raw copy of Mothman. That is the best 3-star, maybe besides Sun Wukong. But it's Mothman in the back alley. Crazy artwork. Only $25 in auction now. And then Sun Wukong, only $30 in auction. Like that Mothman and Sun Wukong were, you know, up around the $80 range for quite a while when it came out. Even when everything else was tanking, they still held above $50. But now, even the best 3-star rarity in Torrential Tides, Loveland Frogman, only $31 in auction. So you saw the Mothman was $25, Sun Wukong was $30, and Loveland Frogman. These are probably the top 3 3-star rarities from the first 2 sets combined that you could pull. And the top one's only going for 31 bucks now. Here we have a box of the new base set MetaZoo, sold for $51 in auction. And another one for $50 in auction. Another one for $43 in auction. And another one for $32 in auction on September 27, 2025. And here we have the best pull you're going to get unless you get a serialized card out of MetaZoo Top Series 0. The Mothman with the Aura Hollow, only $13 in auction. And another one for only $10.50 in auction. And holy moly, this sold for more than the Poncho box. We got both cards, the Loch Ness Monster and the Loveland Frogman. Connect the artwork, get a bigger picture. $900 in auction. I mean, we definitely have to take an up-close look at that. That is absolutely awesome. Here's a cool card to have in your collection. Prismora Perfect 10 from CGC, only $26. Wow, even Rose Robinson from the Christmas promo cards, only $27 in auction. Anyone that's been around long enough knows this card used to sell for well over $100, $200 all day, every day. I know that because I sold 2 of them. And yeah, that's crazy. Only $27 now. Okay, we're getting towards the end of the video. Now we're going to get into crazy territory. Look at this. Napa Rebobs Collecticon stamped. PSA 10. $69.99. 16 bids. I mean, this is pretty cool. Iowa Dragon Wilderness stamped. Full hollow. Only $6.50. That's a nice pickup. And then we have Headless Coal Miner. Is that non-hollow? With the Nightfall stamp on it though. $20.50 in auction. And then we have UFO stamp Good Old Greaser Pete full hollow, $50 in auction. Now that's badass. Here we have the sample Halloween set Headless Horseman PSA 9, $137.50 in auction. Remember the sample cards, or what we would call sample cards for the Halloween cards, there's 500 of each of these made. Then we have a sample Fountain of Youth PSA 9 full hollow, sold for $104.50 in auction. Then we have a Tizerac full hollow sample card PSA 9, only $153.50 in auction. And then we have the Poncho Mothman Hidden Rare from base set PSA 9, so for $338 in auction. And then we have the Shadow Rare Bigfoot PSA 9, only $225 in auction. Now here's a card that went up a little bit in value. Very impressive. Full hollow Kickstarter Mothman PSA 10 for $673 in auction. And then our heavy hitter of the week, we had an old scratch. I mean, hope to see this in person someday. PSA 9, so for $1,025 in auction, which is pretty low for an old scratch, but I mean, everything's coming down. Old scratch is still in the 4 figures. Poncho box is selling for the exact same price, except for this one that sold for $869.95 in auction. So maybe that's my question at the end. Well, I got a couple questions. What you'd rather have, a Poncho box or a PSA 9 old scratch? I mean, that's a tough choice. I can't wait to see the answers on that. And on top of that, the biggest question, why do you think MetaZoo is dipping so hard? Is it the quote streams? Is it the lack of, I don't know, marketing? Like, what do you think is hurting MetaZoo the most right now? Very interested to hear everybody's opinion. There's no wrong answer. I'm just very curious as to what you think is hurting MetaZoo, because it is absolutely crashing out of control. And if you don't have an answer for that, do you think after the last quote stream, which is later today, do you think MetaZoo market's going to change, like, you know, within the next month or two? After the, let's say after the Nightfall set, or whatever they call it, what is it, Secret Shadows? After Secret Shadows comes out, there'll be a little boom on that product, but going into 2026, like by January 2026, where do you think MetaZoo is going to be at as far as interest level and secondary market, all that kind of stuff? Because it's absolutely crashing harder every week right now. So anyways, comment below, let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video.